What are disability accommodations at Fleming College? If you are a student at Fleming and you have a disability, you are eligible to have accommodations for your classes and school activities. Let's break it down. There are many types of disabilities with varying effects on people. You might be diagnosed by your doctor with a condition that significantly affects you in school. The diagnosis can also be from health professionals like a psychiatrist, a registered nurse, or a doctor who specializes in hearing or vision. At Fleming College, Accessibility Education Services, or AES, is interested in a student's functional impairment or limitations. Based on this, AES counselors help develop an accommodation plan so students can participate equally in their learning activities. With your permission, your letter of accommodations are posted through the Fleming College portal for your faculty to see. Our goal is to create accessibility for you at Fleming, but it doesn't end with the letter of accommodations. Once you have started your classes, there may be more school activities that you need to access that are not articulated on your letter of accommodations, or LOA. So you can then discuss the needed changes with your AES counselor to update your plan. Let's say you're a student who struggles with listening to a long lecture and you have been diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. In your discussions with your AES counselor, you've agreed to the accommodation of having access to your faculty's lecture notes, and if needed, a transcription of the lecture. By the way, I just mentioned a key person in that last comment, your faculty. As mentioned earlier, faculty can be made aware of your LOA, as they will be a very important partner in your classes in terms of facilitating how your accommodations will look in the classes you're taking. Your letter of accommodations, by the way, does not include your disability diagnosis. It only lists your approved accommodations. Now, let's say you're a student who experiences high levels of anxiety in groups. Your doctor has confirmed that you have chronic anxiety, and it affects your ability to process and communicate information. Your AES counselor and you have discussed alternate forms of delivering a presentation in class as an accommodation. In this example, your faculty will consider your request to deliver your presentation to a smaller group, or perhaps just to them. I say consider because approved accommodations aren't automatically put in place in your classes. Sometimes your request of an approved accommodation can be denied by faculty if it removes you from doing essential tasks in the class. The good news is that usually these situations can be negotiated with faculty and with help from your AES counselor to meet both the duty to accommodate and the job of protecting the key learning outcomes of your course. An example of a reasonable denial of an accommodation might be when a student is being evaluated on their ability to deliver a presentation to a medium-sized audience about sales techniques in a marketing class. Since this skill is an industry standard in the marketing field, your faculty needs to evaluate your abilities in this regard. Instead of doing the presentation to, say, 50 of your fellow students as an accommodation, your teacher agrees that you do it in front of 10 students. Let's shift gears here a bit. To many, accessibility means required features in buildings like ramps for wheelchairs and having sign language interpreters in classrooms for students who are deaf. These are required accommodations indeed. Well, in the same way, a student with a reading-based disability needs access to course reading materials in printed materials and online. And another student who is unable to get to their classes for a few days because of a flare-up of their depression symptoms will require access to missed class activities. This access can be requested by the student in the form of lecture notes from the missed class, or if an evaluation is missed, a rescheduled test might be arranged. And finally, to summarize, disability accommodations are defined by your medical documentation and by your discussions with your accessibility counselor and faculty. While your accommodations provide access to your schooling, they do not necessarily provide success in your schooling. What I mean by this is your success in school requires you to do the required coursework in your classes. Let us help you get there. For more information about accessibility education services at Fleming College, please visit our website or check out other helpful AES videos.